I'm gonna take a wild guess and say your job's probably more hassle than it's worth. Something about you seems like bad news.
It's my eyes, isn't it?
Kaenreah, I assume. And what's with the mask? Are you trying to hide your identity? In any case, the fact that you're even still alive raises an awful lot of questions for me.
My name is Dainslief. And yes, I am from Kaenreah. As I'm sure you're aware, the Racher of Solnari's real name is Rerir. He was once an acquaintance of mine. Rerir, over here.
Dane! Oh, and, Vedaflin here? What a surprise to see you here, sir.
Hello there, Rerir. You need not address me so formally outside of court.
He doesn't get that much free time, so I invited him over for a drink. Even the court prophet deserves a break every now and then, right?
Well, I'm flattered.
So, what are we discussing today?
Hey, don't look at me. As far as I see it, we don't need an excuse to have a few drinks.
Come on, don't give us that. Didn't you say you were about to pop the big question? How's that coming along?
Who'd have thought the great Twilight Sword was an even greater gossip?
I just didn't expect you to be the first one to settle down and get married, that's all.
Yeah. If you told me that a few years ago, I wouldn't have believed you either.
So, are you planning to come clean about your job then? I'm guessing you still haven't told her.
Sure, I'll have to tell her at some point. But I'll need to pick the right time and place. To be honest, I have no idea how she'll take it.
Come on, stop being such a pessimist. For all you know, she could be thrilled. I bet she'll be much more impressed by your actual job than the one she thinks you're doing now. A member of the King's Guard. Quite the cover story. Does the king himself even know?
Of course he does. Anyway, enough about me. How have you been?
Me? Same old, nothing much to... Huh? What's up, Ved?
It's nothing.
Vedaflin, Dainslief's elder brother. Renowned throughout the court of Kaenreah as the Visionary, and said to possess a wisdom far beyond the reach of any ordinary man. And yet, despite the gulf between us, he seems to have something to say about me. Does he even know me? Does he see me as a friend of his brother, or just another of the Vinster King's blades? Why did he react so strongly? Was it really to do with what we were talking about?
Really? Then you must have been quite an influential figure yourself.
You flatter me, but none of that matters anymore. My point was simply to clarify why I have asked Miss Nefer to investigate Rerir's background.
So you're both from Kaenreah, and it sounds like you used to be friends? What am I missing here? Surely you already know how he became one of the Five Sinners.
I'll tell you everything I know. The history of Kaenreah, the names and identities of the Five Sinners. I remember it all like it was yesterday. I have never spoken openly of this before, but the truth was exactly as people say. The Five Sinners were each driven by their own desires, and it was by playing upon these that the Abyss tempted them to their fall, tearing Kaenreah apart in the process. The Visionary, Vedaflin, who wished to foretell the future. The wise, Haroptatir, who sought limitless knowledge. Gold, Rhindaughter, who desired to create life. The foul, Surtologi, who pursued supreme strength. And last, but not least, Racher of Solnari, Rerir, Ravager of the Moon. Of the five, Rerir is the only one who remains a mystery to me. He never harbored grand ambitions. So what changed in the space of a single night? How did he come to fall like the others?
In other words, you're saying that his change came as a shock to you, and you have no idea what actually happened?
That's right.
You mentioned how the Abyss tempted them, which led to their fall. But what did that look like in practice? And what other context can you give me about the events of that time? The more detail you can give me, the better.
Strangely, now that it comes to it, I hardly know where to begin. The fateful night took place during the era of the Eclipse dynasty. One day, my elder brother, the visionary, Vedifenir, was summoned to the palace by the Vinster King, only for the king to gouge out his eyes and cast him into the dungeons. When I came to hear of this, my fury knew no bounds. I gathered together every ally I thought I had, and together, we set a night to storm the palace and free Ved. Centuries on, the memories of that night still haunt me like a never-ending nightmare. We broke through the palace gates, just like we had planned, each striking towards our separate targets. But then, I was betrayed. Even Vedifenir, the very person I had come to rescue, abandoned me and partook of the Abyss's power.
So, it's personal after all. Then tell me, Mr. Dainslief, what price are you willing to pay? You, of all people, must know that nothing comes for free.
I cannot say what price would be worthy of such a commission. But know this. Rerir was not always a madman. Believe it or not, there was a time when he was just an ordinary man, working for the Kaenreah Intelligence Service. Uncovering the truth of Rerir's past is the only way to unravel this mystery. But before you decide if you will accept my commission, I will tell you more about him. Enough, I hope, to help you plan your next move.
Felindis? You're back early?
Our equipment's being serviced today, so I got off earlier than usual. How's your day been? Aw, why the long face? Is something the matter? Has your boss been giving you a hard time again?
Went for a drink with Dane and the others after work.
Isn't that a good thing?
Vedifenir showed up today, too. You know, Dainslief's older brother.
Ah, Mr. Vedifenir. Yes, I've heard of him. They say that everything he says ends up coming true.
He overheard Dainslief mention that I'd recently proposed, and seemed to have an issue with it. But when I asked what it was, he kept it to himself.
So, you're worried? You can be such a child sometimes, Rerir. We're nobodies. Why would the visionary be concerned about us? I'm sure someone in his position has much bigger fish to fry.
Maybe you're right.
You worry too much, Rerir. We've been together for ages now, and everything's been going so well, has it not? You've even proposed to me.
So, you do remember. Tell me then. What's your answer?
Like I said, I need some time to decide. You can't just rush into things like this. We may be nobodies in the grand scheme of things, but if we want things to work out, we've still got to plan ahead.
All right. Take your time. Nobodies. Sounds about right. In the eyes of people like Vedifenir and Dainslief, what do we matter? Can someone whose gaze is so fixed on a far-flung future even see the present clearly? Besides, the dynasty's fate rests with the king and his inner circle. Whatever I do, it won't make much difference. Meanwhile, every idea they come up with and every decision they make, it affects everything. These days, the king is lost in his research, and the purge of the Crimson Moon bloodline grows ever more intense. The opposition tried to speak out, but nothing came of it. And I'm under no illusions as to why. Because we eliminated them and got rid of their bodies. A man can have 1,000 reasons to carry a sword, but there are few good excuses to use it. Yet the king has never even considered a gentler approach, and he never will. What becomes of someone who kills on another's behalf? Can he ever find true peace? Thelindis, It's nothing. You were right. Fate has never smiled upon nobodies like us. But by the same token, it's unlikely to bear a grudge against us either. There's no reason we can't keep living happily together, cherishing the simple joys of each day as they come.
See? You just need to stay positive, Rerir. I can feel your warmth, your breath. You're right there, right by my side. Just seeing you makes me happy in a way I can't explain. And that's something that no one could ever take away from me. So smile, my love. Let go of that frown.
You're right, Thelindis. I've just been overthinking things.
That's better. Getting caught up about things like this will only ruin our evening. Speaking of which,
You go ahead. I just have a few things.
Even busier than the big shots, huh? Fine, I'll go get started.
Relax. I'll be there. Seriously, though, you drive a hard bargain. You're really gonna leave my proposal hanging and still expect me to take you to the ball?
Well, that goes without saying. I already told everyone I'd be coming with a dance partner. Besides, they're two completely different things.
All right. White outfit it is.